These are 6+ players you should be prioritizing on the waiver wire in week 6. Number 1, Michael Carter. He's rostered in just 39% of leagues. Emari DeMercado may have fumbled his opportunity out of the back of the end zone on Sunday. Enter Michael Carter, who clearly led the team in carries anyway. 18 carries, 51 yards, a touchdown. He also added 5 receptions, 22 yards on 5 targets. Carter's gonna be the guy until Trey Benson returns from his stint on IR, and that may be longer than just 4 weeks because he underwent arthroscopic surgery on his meniscus. Hassan Haskins. Amari and Hampton's now on IR, so that leaves Hassan Haskins and Kamani Vidal as the 2 running backs that are left to play. My bet is Haskins is going to be the guy you want to prioritize on the waiver wire this week because he's a bigger running back and is likely going to take the short yardage and goal line snaps. It is interesting to note that Los Angeles basically had Haskins and Vidal split snaps and the opportunities with Hampton out. Haskins had 14 snaps, 7 of 41 routes run, 1 target, 5 carries. Kamani Vidal, 14 snaps, 6 of 41 routes run, 1 target, 4 carries. So you can see the opportunities were basically split. It's for this reason I wouldn't go crazy with the waiver wire bid here. I'd still be relatively aggressive, especially if you have Hampton. But I think a better approach would be to place a modest bid on both Haskins and Vidal. Speaking of Kamani Vidal, he's rostered in 1% of leagues. Vidal profiles as a smaller change of pace back, although he's not that small. He's 5'8", 215. And as we mentioned when we talked about Haskins, the opportunities were basically split down the middle when Hampton went out with an injury. Kendre Miller, 31% rostered. Miller led the Saints in carries with 10 and was more efficient with his carries than Alvin Kamara, averaging 4.1 yards per carry to Kamara's 3.4 this week. The problem is Kamara, as we all know, is clearly the superior pass catcher. This is going to limit Kendre Miller's upside, but he should have a weekly floor going forward in terms of usage. Jackson Dart, rostered in 39% of leagues. Fantasy managers are going to be able to count on Jackson Dart to run the football this week, even though he didn't play particularly well. Throwing 2 interceptions, he still did run the ball 7 times for 55 yards. Now, if you need wide receivers, we've talked about Troy Franklin on this channel. I bet a lot of people are going to drop him. He's still the wide receiver 2 in terms of usage in Denver. Elikai Manor, same story. His usage still dictates that he should be rostered in 12-man leagues. And Isaiah Bond, with Tillman out, it looks like Bond's the number 2 option at the wide receiver position. Now, it didn't necessarily translate to fantasy points, but Bond was targeted 7 times. And if you need a tight end, I suggested Mason Taylor last week, but AJ Barner, rostered in 2% of leagues, is another guy you can depend on, I think, week to week. He caught 2 touchdowns this week and was targeted 7 times.